So they have their reasons. I think
not justified.
It's not justified though. I'm not justifying. I'm just saying they have their reasons for thinking that way.
For me, I would say that living in Germany here has opened my eyes a lot to a lot of things, both the good and the bad. And especially now with a child, like it's totally different.
Personally, I have reservations towards talking about it because I'm not the pastor that will come and lecture people about all.
And because there's no one size fits all.
Yeah, exactly. There's no one size fits all.
Yeah, there's no one size fits all. What works for us might not work for the other person. Yeah, so.
And that's my own mantra. Even though I learned from so many people when it comes to how do you handle this? How do you deal with this? How do you deal with that? They're common grounds anyway.
Yeah, common grounds.
It's not the one size fits all. And sometimes I get I think there was one day someone called, and I think when we just had our son, someone's like I can already see your husband is going to be a great father. You don't even know the kind of person because you saw me carrying baby. You don't know if I'm just carrying him for picture. I know people tend to build like by just looking at someone's picture and assuming that this person is going to be a loving father. Being a father is it's not by picture. It's not by that. It's
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Evelyn. If you're new here, welcome. Remember to subscribe if you're yet to do so, and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. So a few days ago I did a story poll on my Instagram story, and I asked what type of videos you like to see. If you're not following me on Instagram, please do well to do so. And a lot of people said they'd like to see a video with this young man here, my lover, my husband. And so here we are, chilling on the couch or on the floor with you guys. So yes, this is my husband. Introduce yourself and talk, please.
I'm a very quiet person. This season of my life I've metamorphosed, changed. I've become really quiet, really reserved. Yeah, exactly. I only talk when it's required. Yeah, exactly. So
so question number one for me to you, how has been fatherhood for the past 9 months, especially now that it's been 1 year in isolation? And for my isolation last year March, we went into labor and brought our bouncy baby boy home, and since then we've been at home mostly all week. We go out, like maximum that we go out in a week is 3 times maximum together. So how has it been so far?
I think
working with being a father, husband, all of us in the same house for the past 9 months.
I think it's been a jolly ride. I think jolly rides, definitely, if you go to amusement parks and you have jolly rides, it's always ups and downs, but eventually it's jolly. What do I want to do? It's my wife, my son. We have to make it work. What would I say? I think almost all my colleagues know my son right now.
He's a very active one.
Everybody knows he's a very active one. I have to carry him, but it's not unique. So it's like the norm. You call and sometimes you see
other colleagues with
their children running up and down. My son has not even started running yet, but he's always moving when he carry him. See other colleagues, he has children and sometimes 2 boys running up and down. And sometimes one of my colleagues just had,
I had one that was saying, today I'm a Deutsch teacher. So
yeah. No, my colleague just had 4, and just had his 5th child. I was like, oh man.
I thought he just had 4. He had 5th.
He had 4, then he just had a 5th.
Oh my god.
He said, look, I'm not even sure. As if I'm losing my sanity. I just laughed, like, I mean, I have one, I'm already, but then it's been an interesting journey. If you listen to other people's stories, I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
I'm on the right track. And then, yeah.
What question do you have for me?
The same question you asked me, answer it.
I should answer it. How it has been tasking me. I'm not saying, it's good. No, because I don't see any students that have children. in class they'll say put on the video. If I try it, it will be David's mouth drawing with saliva that you see. Like, how do you expect me to put up my video? And I tried it once. There was tutorial and I caught up with the tutorial and lecture before the tutorial, and I did the assignment, and I was like, oh, let me answer questions, because at the tutorial the group was on the Zoom. This group was into groups of I think 4 or so. And I'm like, okay, let me try to put on the camera too. And it was David waving at them and staring at them, trying to close the laptop and all that. At some point he unmuted at some point, maybe when I left that call, another video, another class like that, he unmuted, and the man or the lecturer was like, oh, who is that? I quickly muted back. Please please dear. You don't want to know. He's been tasking, like combining lectures with exercises and following David up and down, especially when he was much younger, that his wake window was like 2 hours. He sleeps like every 2 hours. I have to stay with him for 2 hours. Mostly it will be because Lekon has to be in meetings like all these days. Is usually filled with meetings. Sometimes he carries him, sometimes he cannot, because David is pulling the earpiece, he's closing the laptop. So me, I can even still unmute and then switch off camera and stay with him, and then when he wants to sleep I have to leave my class and go and breastfeed him to bed and all that. Oh my god, it's getting better now because he's getting older, he's more mobile, his wake window is getting longer, he sleeps for like twice a day instead of 3 or 4 times before. But he's been tasking, but bless the Lord, God has been our strength. So next question, how has it been in Germany? We are almost, how many years now? 4 years. What will you say? Because I have a lot of people that are out there that want to know, they want to move in here with family, with yeah, to study, to work. And you know, I've carried you along so far when people ask questions, and also the information I've gathered from the embassy, from German government and all that. What do you have to say? Like, what can you say?
German government has to sponsor me.
Yeah, we'll get there, don't worry.
They have to sponsor me for saying this. I think it's been I think I've spoken about on one of your videos.
Yeah, well, I've just spoken about how to get a job here in Germany, so I'll link that up here.
Even at that, and also some interesting experiences. But I think what I see is that the pandemic really didn't help a lot. Because last year I had plans of going out a lot, plans of probably experiencing more of a couple of places. Last year I didn't. Nobody. I'm sure some people traveled, but me, I didn't even travel anyway.
Could do not.
I think I traveled one time.
At the beginning of the year, we were really pregnant, and then David came.
I traveled one time. So far, I think the experience, at least for parents, from a parenting perspective, you would assume that one not being a citizen, you might not get the benefits of. Oh yeah, that's people are entitled to, but we get it. We got it, and we're still getting that. Elterngeld, Kindergeld,
yeah,
all those girls. So there's quite a number of benefits that you would assume that I'll not be citizen, I might not get it, but you get it. And this was one time, I think it was in 2019. I was talking to one of my friends. Like I said, before he used to think that he needs to get citizenship, but when he too had it, he had a baby, he had a child. Then he said, considering the advantage, the benefits, he sees no reason, because you eventually almost get the same, apart from the fact that you might not be able to exercise civic
rights, right?
Apart from that, it's virtually the same.
Well, yeah, well, actually, all that things to acquiring a house and all those deep things.
Yeah, acquiring a house, well, probably settlement permit will get you that, or some level of residency, and but then.
So you advise people to settle down in Germany as a family, or
if you, for
some people they'll be like, because of the language, maybe I'll just like acquire some experience and then move to an English-speaking country.
So all that depends on the person. That my own experience might be different, but I've had interesting experiences. I know if I talk about my experience, someone else has. If you see some people make videos or talk about their own experiences, it's totally different. I once met a guy in the UK one time, and he said, his experience when he moved to Germany, he didn't like it.
Terrible.
And
I think to move to the UK.
Yeah. So I think my own experience has been really good. I would say mostly not because of what I know how to, or my experience, but mainly because of number one thing is the favor of God, the mercy of God. And then just loving the city. Well, at least you have no boundaries. You know that there's some places that you don't want to go, and there's some places that you can. There's some places you want to go, but you can't go.
Yeah.
And there's some places that you can go and you should go.
But places that you can go and you should go is even more than places that.
It's because you've not gone to the places that you should not go.
Really?
Yeah, no.
In outside Berlin, sha.
Even within Berlin.
It's not compared to the places that are accessible and you can go without any fear. In Berlin.
It's because of the places that you go to now. How many places have you gone to in Berlin?
Esther's house.
That's all.
No, that's not the only place I go to that.
Because the places that you go to is the places that are not so. If you go to Berigo, Berlin, you know that there are some places that you might not be able to.
Why can't we go there? Because they are not enlightened and there's some form of racism. Just say it.
Well, maybe they are not enlightened out there, but racism is, let's call it what it is. If you believe that you're superior to a particular set of people because of the color of their skin, that's but that said, sometimes if you listen to some of the narratives that these people talk about, especially one of the political parties in Germany here that started about 2013 and they're really gaining grounds.
Yeah.
They mentioned a couple of things that if you look at it, you probably hear some of those things where we come from, like within our ethnic tribes, within our tribes. So they have their reasons. I think
it's not justified. It's
not justified though. I'm not justifying. I'm just saying they have their reasons for thinking that way. I remember, I think was it in 2018 they had elections. And one of my colleagues, my former place I was working before, my former place of work, told me, I said that I should be really happy that it was not that party that entered though. That's why I said, they don't like foreigners.
So they have sent us backwards.
Even you were the one that was playing their campaign that they say we don't want Africanization of Deutschland of Europe.
But generally, how do you feel about living in Germany? Here, how has work been? How
I feel about living in Germany is that my street is one of the most interesting streets in Berlin. It's one of the most. You see it's a Leko kind of gyration there.
But is it that we didn't know before we came in? Did you know?
Well, when I asked my colleagues, they told me it was Mitte area, so it was really they were pretty.
Mitte now?
No, it's not far from Mitte now. It's middle, not Mitte.
Yeah, okay.
Middle, central. So that was what they said. And there are lots of internationals.
Nobody mentioned that place. Nobody did. Anybody?
I didn't ask. That's why.
You did.
Because the street is quite popular. Every now and then we get to see protests
and carnivals and music.
Carnivals.
For me, I would say that living in Germany here has opened my eyes a lot to a lot of things, both the good and the bad. And especially now with a child, like it's totally different. Like, you know, as an adult, if it was just me or me and my husband, you already know morally, you know where you stand. So even when you see things, you'll be like, but now with a child, like, I try to like acquire a lot of knowledge so that I know what I'm saying and I know how to like pass down information to the child, that if to my child and his siblings, that if you see this, it is okay to be different. It's okay not to blend in. It is okay not to accept whatever it is that is going on, because being in a Western world has its good and bad, you know. And if you are not morally grounded, if you are not really careful, if you are the type of person that really appreciates moral and have moral standards, and you know what you want for your child, for your children, if you're not careful and you're not deliberate about it,
the word deliberate,
this child, God forbid, might just start to like derail. So you have to be really careful. That a lot that like there are a lot of things that happens, things that are being passed into law, things that just happen in passing. And you know, children, they pick, their mind is like a blank slate, so they pick information, they pick things really fast and easily. So I'm reading, opening my mind to things, knowing that I'm aware. There's nothing like I reject it in Jesus' name or don't talk about it. No, I know it. So I'll be telling the child and I'm ready to be passing the information. When you see this, know that this is this, but it's good for you to be different. There's nothing bad in standing for who you are. This is who you are in Christ Jesus, you know. And yeah, so far I think that is what has been for me. My son is scared of flying. Yes, it's scared of flying long distance.
And I've flown the most.
Even though you've flown the most, so what now happened? What does that mean?
Yeah, no, that even though I'm scared of flying doesn't mean I don't fly. I'm no longer scared of flying.
The difference between your flying and my flying is because you have to go for work.
But
the one we've gone together, it was leisure and family tourism and holiday.
But
so if those ones that you've flown the most, it's because you don't have any choice. The one that you never have choice, you even want to go and book train, even though you had flight tickets. You went to book train because you didn't want to fly.
It's my flight ticket now, and I'm with these people that are conserving, protecting the climate.
After isolation, I'm going to be traveling a lot.
We're protecting the climate. We want
to
reduce
a lot.
Carbon emissions. We need to read our house now. I want to be measuring our carbon footprint and reducing it.
Measuring the air that you breathe out. So that
no, that one is normal. So if I have to travel, I have to fly. We need to keep our carbon footprint as low as possible.
In conclusion, what do you have to say to people that are students? Nigeria is not giving visa.
Yeah, I don't even know what's wrong with them, but it's not Nigeria that's not giving visas. It's just the embassies not commencing visa operations.
Yeah. It's not Nigeria that's not giving visas. It's German embassy in Nigeria.
It's embassies. It's not because German. It's
other embassies. UK are allowing people to enter now.
Yeah, but UK's their vaccine rollout is
faster.
It's probably reaching more than at the point in time. But nations have their own political. If you say UK it doesn't mean the UK is not Germany. Germany is not France. They have different policies. Yeah. So it's not the same. It doesn't mean because UK.
It's actually affecting us too because my mom was supposed to come. Her visa already expired. And yeah, so
you said this thing plenty times.
I've said it. I'll keep saying it until they open the door. I'll keep saying it. Yes. So thank you for coming to our gist. I hope it makes sense at the end of the day and you guys are able to laugh and smile. So thank you for coming to our channel. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. And Lekon is a data engineer and yeah, he's actually good at what he does.
I'm not a data engineer anymore. I don't know data engineering again.
So what do you do now?
How to count money. Sell about the money.
He's really good at what he does. If you
about the cheddar.
If you have questions about that, you can reach him on LinkedIn. Olalekan-Elesin.
I've forgotten this name of this girl that sings. More
cheddar. Now.
Cheddar. It's about the cheddar. It's not
Babe
about
now.
Let me finish. About the cheddar. It's not about the data engineering. It's about the cheddar. Cheddar.
Thank you so much for watching. And remember to subscribe.
So can you put maybe like
I'm not putting anything like that. Remember to subscribe and give the video a thumbs up.
When I'm doing like this, spraying you with money.
I'll see you in my next one. Bye. I have to deal with this till the end of the day. Bye.